Welcome back, everybody. On Tuesday night, President Obama is going to give the State of the Union address. It is also date night for Congress. Democrats and Republicans crossing the aisles, so to speak, sitting together as a show of bipartisanship. But is it real? Colorado Democratic Senator Mark Udall joins us this morning. Ohio Republican Senator Rob Portman joins us as well. Gentlemen, it's nice to see you. I have to tell you, Roland Martin and Will Cain are also trying to have a little bipartisanship next to me. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's like. Please, gentlemen, I'm trying to have a conversation here. Nice to see you. Let's begin with you, if we can, Senator Udall.
Sure.
In fact, does this work? If you look at the space between the last time you've done it and now, the next time you're going to do it, it really hasn't gone that well. Why do the date night? Are you guys dating night tonight? I mean, Tuesday night?
Soledad, hey, good morning, Rob. Happy New Year to Senator Portman. Look, just because last year was a tough political year, and it was, doesn't mean we don't keep trying. We're part of a big family, the American family. State of the Union's a serious evening. We should treat the speech seriously. And I think, particularly in the context of the terrible shooting last year that occurred in Tucson, to honor and support the way in which Gabrielle Giffords works in the Congress, I think we got to keep at it. The feeling I have is that it does make a difference. Over time, you get to know the people you work with. It's hard to demonize a fellow legislator if you know something about his or her background or family and so on. So we've got to keep at this, I think, in the spirit of Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan as well, who fought bitterly during the day, but then 6 o'clock came around, they sat down, had a drink, got to know each other.
Well, let me play a little bit of what Gabrielle Giffords, Congresswoman Giffords, said, as she also told folks that she was going to be leaving her position. Here's what she said.
But I know on the issues we fought for, we can change things for the better. We can do so much more by working together.
Senator Portman, when I look back at the last year, in all seriousness, you have to wonder if what she is proposing is based in reality. It was a very tough year, a very bitterly divided Congress, frankly. How can you get to her vision realistically?
Well, I think it takes both sides realizing that we have huge problems facing our country, and they have to be addressed not as Republicans or Democrats, but as Americans. And frankly, we need a little help from the White House. You know, we'll see what the president says on Tuesday night, but I hope he goes back to his theme in his campaign a few years ago when he talked about bringing people together to solve problems. What I'm hearing about it is it'll be more about not just dividing himself from Congress and talking about how Congress can't get stuff done, which doesn't help because we have to work together, but also talking about dividing Americans. And, you know, we have to figure out how to pull together, unify folks around common problems. We've got the biggest deficit and debt in our history. We've got an economy that continues to sputter along, not creating the jobs any of us want to see. It's the weakest recovery we've had since the Great Depression. So we got big problems, and we have to come together and resolve them. I am taking a date. I'm going with Jeanne Shaheen from New Hampshire. More important than going to the State of the Union together is doing stuff together. And we've introduced legislation together on energy efficiency. Mark's a guy I've worked with a lot on different legislative initiatives, and you know, it's time for us. Look, I'm a conservative. I'm proud of that, but I also feel like we need to focus on results, and we can and should.
Senator Udall, Senator Portman, Ron Brownstein from National Journal. Can I ask real quick, can you each identify 2 or 3 significant things that you think Congress might actually be able to work together on a bipartisan basis around this year?
Hey, Ron, Mark Udall here. Let me just add, too, that Lamar Alexander, Senator Alexander from Tennessee, put it well. He said, look, the goal isn't bipartisanship, the goal is results. But I do believe you can have too much partisanship. You can never have enough bipartisanship. A couple of areas I think we've got to continue to focus on. We need a Simpson-Bowles grand bargain that combines cuts in federal spending with fixes to Medicare and Social Security, plus tax reform. We ought to put in place an infrastructure bill. I hear there's some good news this week about the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, being authorized permanently. And then we ought to finally look at an overall comprehensive national energy policy. There's some things we can do this year that will help us be more energy self-reliant. By the way, those create jobs and strengthen our country. I sit on the Armed Services Committee, as does Rob, and we need to do more on the energy front to give us more geopolitical flexibility. Just think if we had our own oil supplies and our own liquid fuel situation was strong, we wouldn't have to be in this situation where Iran holds a sword over the rest of the world because it has oil.
Senator Udall and Senator Portman, I thank you for joining us this morning on Starting Point. We appreciate your time. Still ahead.